The Jewish story. This week's story from the Holocaust is taken from the book Wrestling with the Angel, Toward a Jewish Understanding of the Nazi Assault on the Name, written by David Patterson. Relating the events of Shavuot, the holiday of weeks, Wasser writes, all the Jews were driven out of Woszlowicz, Zielik, Kuma, Workolizhanska, to Chelm, and on the way masses were rendered cold, shot down by machine guns. The Jewish blood contribution to world slaughter surpasses understanding and measure. Equally beyond understanding and measure, however, is the determined faith of Rabbi Shlomo Zalichowski of Zadunska, who, according to Levin, sang praises to God as he and 9 other Jews were hanged in a grisly minyan, the quorum of 10, required for saying certain prayers on that same holiday. In these incidents we find the extremes of souls rendered cold and souls on fire, extremes that bespeak the extremity of the Nazi assault. Both are instances of the insertion into the world, of a presence from beyond the world, and the pages of these testimonies contain the trace of that presence. A holy time during which that presence is signified by the light of the Holy One is Hanukkah, the festival of lights, that lasts for 8 days. It is a time when we remember not just the victory of the Maccabees over the Greeks, who tried to Hellenize the Jews in the 2nd century BCE. More importantly, we remember the re-entry of the name with a capital N, into the world, with the rededication of the temple and the rekindling of the menorah. During the Shoah, however, the Jews trapped in the kingdom of night witnessed the entry of the Nazis into the realm where the remembrance and observance of the holy days would open up a place for God to enter. On the first day of Hanukkah, December 1941, for example, one Jew relates, the entire minyan began to say the prayer Shema Yisrael. We could hear Jews screaming the words on the street. We began to recite the prayers when suddenly we once again heard terrible screams and wails from the prison yard. We went over to the window and our blood froze in our veins when we saw a new group of 7 Jews being led to the execution area. This conjunction of prayers and screams is yet another example of the incongruity that forces time, the time of the return of God's light to the world, out of joint. When time is out of joint, the holy is out of place and God recedes into the depths of a scream. Indeed, the task of the Nazis, who would undo time, was to transform the prayer into a scream. And yet, adding his voice to the unholy conjunction of prayers and screams, the Jew joins prayer to outcry and outcry to prayer in an effort to retrieve some remnant of the holy. The chronicle of the harrying of the Holy One creates a time in which the holy may show itself, even as it is under assault. Therefore Kaplan is careful to observe, never before in Jewish Warsaw were there as many Hanukkah celebrations as in this year of the war, 1940. Like the Jews who pray despite the prohibition, the diarist writes despite the darkness and thereby transforms a small piece of the darkness into light. Thus responding to the first utterance of creation, let there be light. The Jew affirms meaning of all creation and of all life. The recovery of life and meaning in these daily accounts amounts to the Jew's recovery of the purpose of his Jewishness, both for those who endure the horror and for us, their heirs. For the one who observes and records the events of Hanukkah, the holy season itself becomes a means of resisting the assault on time. Please pass on this story.